Hey guys, as promised, I will show you my trades of this week so you can start seeing how we take trades using the order flow and what to look for in the order flow. We also had a bit of a difficult week because of Powell speaking and rollovers, which makes the order flow a little bit messy sometimes. Also trading at the all-time highs. So you see me having a little bit of a losing streak, but if you keep watching until the end, you'll learn something about money management to recuperate from your losses, keeping your losses smaller than your winners. Also, you'll get a little bit more insights on one of the strategies that I use on a daily basis within the order flow to get me started with nice scalps that might result in some really big profits. So without further ado, let's dive in. So moving on to trade number one, I will go through these trades fast paced. So I will just explain what we're seeing here. We are seeing here a 13 range chart. I will take a few notes on this chart. We have selling delta right here at this POC. We have selling delta below with some multiple stacked imbalances right here and here. So I was thinking price to go further down if we don't break this POC level. So we will just fast forward through these trades because we have a lot of ground to cover. If you like this type of content, if you like to see my live trades, if you need some more explaining to do, please leave a like, please comment, feed a new YouTuber to the algorithm. So here we go. We take this first trade, as I mentioned. Fast forward a little bit. So we take this first trade, as I mentioned, underneath this selling delta. We take our stop below. I switched to a 7 range chart just to see the inside the order flow a little bit better. Here I made a really dumb mistake and it was putting my stop at 1 point. I always take a 1 point scalp at minimum, but I should have left my stop loss above the selling delta. Because you see me getting stopped out right there and price will move in my direction. So this is a failed scalp, but I did get 1 point profit. On to the next trade of the day. You'll see, I'll explain a little bit. We have the Asian range right here, selling delta coming in, a lot of selling delta, but buyers keep pushing up prices. So my guess was we were gonna go up. So second trade of the day, you see me moving my stop loss here, which was a big mistake. Normally I will take a maximum of 6 points loss. From starting next week, I will take a maximum of 4 points loss because I learned this week that putting my stop loss more down doesn't result in greater profits. So same as you, I am still learning. I am still finding my way into this. I never said I was the best trader in the world. That's why I'm also showing my losses. Any trader that won't show his losses is a big faker in my opinion. The trading world is very ego driven and I know a lot of people will only show the winners, but that is not what I intend to do on this channel. So you see me taking the loss. Oh no, not yet, but you'll see me taking the loss in a few minutes. And here we go. So this was a loser, minus 4 points. So we go into the next trade. So here we move into the next trade. I have my big buy zone right here. I was really clear about this buy zone. So as we move forward from this trade, you will see us going up. This was a really messy trade, but I just keep holding on. I didn't want to pull my stop loss because I already made a big loss. And right about here, I was getting scared of this selling delta coming in. So I closed the trade right about this yellow line. There's a 5-minute opening range, so I closed the trade down for like 7 points. Let's get on to the next trade. So on Wednesday, we started going up. Here I have a selling zone, so trade was going up. I took the trade because of one of my strategies, the delta flip strategy, which I will explain a little further. So you see me get stopped out on the first trade. Then I take the second trade right here. I have the same strategy. This is what I call, pause it for a second. This is what I call a delta flip strategy. So we have lots of buying delta, delta with some nice block buying, but price doesn't push further up. We lose interest here, as you can see in the volume profile. And the close of this candle is below the POC. This for me is a clear short. So I take profit once again. I put my stop save at 1 point and you see me get stopped out again for 1 point. So keeping up with my plan, I take the third counter trade, which wasn't a bad decision on my end, but once again, buying delta, block trade, POC, candle closing below the POC, so that for me is a delta flip. But I get stopped out here once again, so I close my charts. This was Wednesday for me, so this is Thursday. Thursday for me was a very bad day, and I will show you exactly why. My plan for Thursday was as easy as it comes. So we have the Asian range right here. We have big selling delta below the Asian range. We have selling delta in the Asian range, and then like here, and we have big multiple imbalances in the Asian range. So my plan was to get this liquidity sweep and this buying after the liquidity sweep, which is almost a delta flip strategy, to go back into this liquidity zone right here. Now you will see me starting to make a few mistakes. The mistakes are that I took a short here, wanting to go back to the lows, instead of my planned long that I planned on my journal before I start trading my day. Of course, I get stopped out on this one, and this is where everything goes to shits. I start revenge trading my own counter trade to my plan. Of course, this will also get liquidated right here. So I took 2 losses in a row. For me, this is a sign to stop my day. I am not in alignment with the market. I'm losing too much money. If I keep revenge trading, I will eventually blow up an account, and I've blown up many accounts, so I have this rule that I just quit for that day. So now you have to understand that I have a losing streak of 4 losses in a row already. So I've been losing money like 2 days in a row. And I was going for a range day again. As you can see, per my thoughts, no interest on this volume profile. So we should take out the Asian range once more. But as soon as my limit hits, price just keeps going through. This is actually my trade number 2, which I'm going to explain in a second. And here is where it gets pretty interesting. So the red line is the all-time highs. We can see buyers pushing into these all-time highs with all these buying imbalances. So let us see how this turns out. I took the short right here because I see a delta flip incoming. So in this delta flip, so once again, POC, close below the POC. We have a lot of buying delta. We have a lot of buying delta, but we don't see interest above these prices, and the price closes below the POC. So now I just had to trust that this was going to work out. And I'm going to fast forward this really, really fast because this trade took me a few hours. And if we see on the hourly chart, you can see price starting to take out this gap. So I was actually pretty sure my trade was safe here. We just keep going down. We keep pushing down until eventually we get another delta flip right here. So POC and price closes above the POC. So I pull in my stop just to be sure, and I get out with an 18-point trade, making my week actually pretty good. So this is a little lesson into keeping your losses small and maximizing your winners. So even after a 4 or a 5 loss streak, I'm not sure, I could make a huge profit on a simple delta flip to delta flip trade. And that's about it for this week, guys. I hope you learned something. If you want, please like, comment, subscribe. You'll drill, feed a new YouTuber to the algorithm. And I will be seeing you next week.